We start with the bottom face, and we give the height at the top face, then complete the visibility. I'll draw isometric scale here. 30 degree, 45 degree. This is actual scale. This is ISO scale. This is 30 degree. This is 45. And on the actual scale, I want to write some distances. Now I have to mark 30 mm, 40 mm, and 60 mm. So I'll mark 30 here, 40 here, and 60 here. So this is 30, 40, and this is 60. I'll draw vertical lines from all the values 30, 40, and 60. I'll draw horizontal line and mark a convenient point and draw 30 degree lines on either side, 30 degree this side and 30 degree this side, and draw axis, the two isometric axis, the horizontal plane. This is 30 degree, this is also 30 degree. Now bottom face is rectangle of size 40 mm and 30 mm. So I can mark 40 mm side on this axis or this axis. That choice is left to me. I can mark it anywhere. Let's say I want to take 40 mm distance here. ISO 40 is this much. I take ISO 40 on this side. Take ISO 30 here on this side. Now this is ISO 40, this is ISO 30. Now I know that rectangle has two opposite edges parallel. So I can make use of parallelism property. Keep this edge like this first. I'll slide this, that square, and draw a parallel line like this. The edge parallel to other axis, then move this to draw parallel line. So I constructed the isometric projection of the bottom face of the rectangular prism. Now I have to give the height. Height is 60 mm. ISO 60 is here. I have to draw vertical lines, all the base corners. That axis is vertical. So let us draw vertical line from all the base corners. I have drawn vertical lines from all the base corners. There are 4 vertical lines now. On these vertical lines, I should transfer ISO 60. This is ISO 60. So I'll mark one point here, second point here, third point here, and fourth point here. I got these points now. These are the top face corners of the prism. Join them. I have drawn the isometric projection completely, but visibility we have to show now. I told you visibility always we have to mark from the top face. The top face, this rectangular face is visible now. First let us darken that face first. This face is visible. This edge which is in the boundary, and this edge which is in the front, and this edge is another boundary. So all these 3 edges are visible. So darken those 3 visible edges. This one, and this one. Then base edges which are in the front, they are also visible. So these 2. You draw this edge and this edge. That's all. That completes the isometric projection of a rectangular prism. See, there is one more edge here, here, and here. They are invisible. You don't have to do anything for them. Try to erase the lines also. Let it be as lines. This completes the solution. In any isometric projection, we don't show dimensions except this 30 degree, 30 degree. Isometric scale also you should show separately. Draw the isometric projection of a cylinder. Cylinder looks like this, right? You can take diameter of maybe 60 mm and height of maybe 80 mm. Draw horizontal line, 30 degree line this side, 30 degree line this side, and bottom face of the cylinder is a circle of diameter 60. You know what you should do? ISO 60 you take here, ISO 60 you take here, draw parallel lines. This is a square box. inside which you have to fit the ellipse. And 4 center method of constructing ellipse, you draw this line first, identify the midpoint, join this, identify the midpoint, join this as center, this as starting point, you draw this arc. Say with the same radius, this as center, you draw this arc, and with this as center, draw this arc, with this as center, draw this arc. So this is how you construct the bottom face. Bottom face is circular, or in isometric projection it is an ellipse. Now you have to go to the top face. Top face is obtained by taking height of 80. You can take ISO 80 for all the corners, base corners, like this. You get a square box here also, and you know how to construct the ellipse from this box. So construct the ellipse like this and draw tangents here. Start visibility from top face. This ellipse is completely visible. This tangent is visible. This is also visible, and front portion of the ellipse is visible. Just observe this video clip. Initially, there are two solids. Bottom solid is a square prism of 70 mm square sides and height 25 mm. And top prism is also a square prism, but it is of square sides 30 mm and height is 40 mm. Now we know how to draw the isometric projection of these two solids individually. We can just start with the bottom face, which is a square, and we can construct the height and we can complete the top face. But the important thing now is we have to place one above the other, and while placing we have to ensure the symmetry. You have to place them symmetrically. So we will see how it looks like when we place them symmetrically. I'll just play this video. Contents which kept in 3D space initially. If I turn it and place it in isometric projection, it looks like this. This is a isometric projection of those solids individually. They are not placed one above the other now. They are actually in space. Now if I place them one above the other, how does it look? See, it looks like this. This is the solid which is placed on this solid exactly at the center. That is what is called symmetry. So this is what we need to construct now. I have to construct the isometric scale. When I am drawing isometric scale, I need to draw a horizontal line first. 30 degree here and 45 degree here. This is 30 degree line. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. ISO scale, and this is true scale. I will draw this horizontal line first, and from any convenient point on either side I'll take 30 degree. Draw this line. Now I have to draw the bottom face of the bottom solid, which is a square of side 70 by 70. So here in the isometric scale, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 70 is here. I have to draw a vertical line there and draw it like this. That becomes ISO 70. I'm measuring that ISO 70 here and mark it on this axis and also on the other axis, because both sides are equal. They are. Now I know that it's a square face, so parallel lines are there. I'll keep the scale and set square like this and slide the set square to draw this parallel line. Slide the set square and draw a parallel line from this point. Wherever the meet, that is the other corner that I wanted. So this is the isometric projection of the bottom face of the bottom solid. Bottom solid is a square prism of size 70 by 70 by 25. 25 is the height. Now I have to give the 25 height for all these, for which again I need to refer to the ISO scale. Measure 25 here. The true scale is here. I'm drawing it approximately here because there is some obstruction. Draw the vertical line. You can draw vertical lines from all these corners. Vertical. You should observe that the vertical line drawn at this point should pass through this point. Obviously, because these two are equal, these two are equal. Obviously, it has to be on the same vertical line. This is 20, so 25. All these verticals, I'll mark this. So I got the top face components, join them. We have completed a isometric projection of the bottom solid. This is ISO 70. This is also ISO 70. This height is ISO 25. So the second solid is also a square prism, but it has to be placed on top of this, and there should be axis to axis coincidence. And bottom face of the top solid is of sides 30 by 30. It's a square shape, and I have to draw it at the center of the top face of this already drawn. So top face of already drawn solid is this. This is the top face. At the center of this means I have to draw this diagonal. When this diagonal and already drawn vertical line intersect, that is the center of the top face. Top face is this, center is here. At this center, this as center, I should construct a isometric view of the square, which is of side ISO 30. What I can do is I can draw the axis here. I told you this is one of the isometric axis and this is another isometric axis. Now at any point I can draw parallel to this axis and this axis and call them also as axis. At this center, I can draw a line parallel to this, drawing approximate here. You can use set squares for drawing accurate parallel lines. So I'm drawing a line here. This line is one of the axes that is parallel to this. At the same point, I should draw another line which is parallel to this axis. I have drawn. See, this line now is parallel to this. I want to make this construction and to ensure that the face what I am drawing is exactly coincident. So on the top face, drawing a major diagonal, get the center first. Through the center, I should draw this line parallel to this line and another line parallel to this line. These are called axes at this point now. ISO 30 is so much, but I'm at the center. This will come like this. On either side, the 30 mm will be distributed. From the center, this side also ISO 15 will be there. This side also ISO 15 will be there because totally it is a square of 30. So I'll mark ISO 15 and draw a vertical line. And from there, I will take ISO 15. I have to draw that ISO 15 on all the sides of the axis what you have drawn. See, I'm drawing one arc here, and on the other side also I'm drawing one arc, and on the other axis also, this side and this side. So totally 4 arcs I have drawn. See, from this point, I have drawn one arc here, which cuts this axis here, and from the same point, this side also I have drawn an arc. So I got a point here. And on this side of the axis, I have drawn an arc here. I got a point here. Similarly, on the opposite side also I have drawn a point. What is this distance now? This is ISO 15 because total I want ISO 30. Now, don't join these points directly. You are not supposed to join like this now. It will not become isometric face. What you have to do is passing through this point, you have to draw a line parallel to this axis or parallel to this edge, another line here parallel to this edge. Similarly, passing through this point, you have to draw a line like this parallel to this edge or this axis. Passing through this point, you have to draw a line like this parallel to this edge or axis. So when I draw only, I'll get the face. I'm drawing parallel now. I'll keep this edge like this. I'll slide this set square till I get the point. So I got the point. At this point I should draw a line like this. Should draw a line. And one more point is there on the other side. So I'll keep it that point and draw a line like this. From remaining 2 points also I should draw the axis parallel line, but it should be parallel to the other axis. I'll slide the set square, and here I will draw a line like this, and I'll further slide it to get the point here and draw a line like this. Now you see there is a box now. This is that ISO 30 that we wanted to write. Bottom face of the top solid. Now I have to give the height for this. So these are the points 1, 2, 3, 4. For all these 4 points, now I have to give the height of the solid. Height of the second solid is 40 mm. Actual 40 is here. I have to draw a parallel line and I have to draw verticals first. This is one of the vertical. Second vertical will be on the same line. Third vertical also will be on the same line. And fourth vertical will be here. This ISO 40. On all these vertical lines, I should draw ISO 40. I've drawn one here, second one, third one, and fourth one. These 4 points are what? They are the top face corners. Because I have given the height now. So these 4 points are the top face corners. I can join them at the top face. So I joined all the 4 corners. So this is the top face of the top solid. The isometric projection is complete except the visibility. I'll start showing the visibility from top face. Top face is visible. These are the 2 edges of the face and I'll draw other 2 edges. This is the topmost face which is visible. And from when this is visible, the front, there are 2 faces here. They are also visible. It means these 3 vertical lines are visible. So I'll draw these 3 visible lines. One is here. This one. This. And this. These are the 3 vertical lines which are visible for this prism. And bottom of the top solid, there are 2 edges in the front. They are also visible. You can draw these 2. See, this is the complete isometric projection of the top solid. Now, bottom solid I should show the visibility. But observe, this edge you observe, this is the top face of the bottom solid. But this edge will be visible only till here. Only till here. Beyond this, it will not be visible because it is covered by the top solid. Similarly, on this edge will be visible only till here, and beyond which this solid covers it, so it will not be visible. So I have to show the visible part of that edge. I'll show it like this. So this is the portion visible edge on the bottom solid, top face, and this is another portion visible edge. And these 2 edges are visible because they are not covered by anything. So you have to mark this visible. Then bottom solid, there are 2 faces which are visible. That means these 3 vertical lines are visible. So I'll darken these 3 vertical lines. One here, second, third, and in the front there are 2 edges which are visible. So I have to show this visible and this also visible. That completes the solution. You don't have to show any dimension except this 30 degree, 30 degree. You don't have to erase any of the construction lines. I kept everything thin initially. Once I completely drawn both the solids, from top I started showing the visibility. Problem number 7. This is a concept that we use for all the problems. There will be 2 solid or 3 solid combination. Type of solid can be anything. I have taken very simple objects now. Square prism is the simplest example, but it can be a cylinder placed on a square prism, or a cone placed on cylinder, or a prism or pyramid placed on a prism, anything. One is a sphere and this is the square prism. Remember this. For any sphere or spherical shape, however you rotate or however you keep, it looks like a circle. Any view, where you place it, even if you rotate it, it looks like a circle. It will not reduce in its size in isometric. Play this animation, just observe. Both objects are in 3D space. See, even if you rotate, size of prism changes, but sphere looks like a circle. And when you keep both of them in the isometric position, it looks like this. See, sphere is simply a circle in isometric view also. I place it on the other, just see. Place sphere on the square prism. It looks like this. Isometric projection. This circle what you draw, that should be of the actual size, not isometric size. But if you want to draw the circle, you should draw the circle at the center of the sphere. But to locate the center of the sphere, you should use ISO radius, because distance from the center of the sphere to the top face center, the bottom solid, inclined line. You imagine a line passing through the top face of the bottom solid and the center of the sphere. That line is an inclined line, that is reduced in its size. The sphere when you draw, the total when you draw, you have to use actual radius. That is also already drawn the isometric scale and the two axes of the isometric also. First thing is the base of the square prism is 60 mm size. Measure 60 mm ISO like this. Draw vertical line, ISO 60, and on both the axes you can draw. One of the parallel line, I'm drawing it here. Completed. This is the bottom face of the square prism of size 60. The height of the square prism is 20 mm. So I should mark ISO 20. Draw a vertical line here. Get the ISO 20 and draw the heights on this. I'm drawing vertical line passing through all these points. On these lines, I should mark ISO 20. ISO 20 here, 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 and here. 7. So this completes the isometric projection of the bottom solid. Now it is very important. You know that here looks like a circle. Where is the center of the circle? That I should find out. For finding the center of the circle, I should go from the center of the top face vertically by a distance equal to ISO radius. Just get the center first, drawing this line diagonal and joining this diagonal. So I got the center of the top face of the prism. ISO radius means ISO 30 I should take. I'll draw ISO 30 length here. This is ISO 30. This is ISO 30. I should draw it on vertical line like this. So it will be exactly this corner. Corner you get. So this is 60. This is where the center of the sphere lies. This is center with true radius circle. You have to draw the circle. Take actual 30 mm radius as center. Draw the circle. Represents the sphere. The top face center, you get the center of the circle by taking ISO 30. So you got this point. Then you take the actual radius and draw the circle. So obviously your circle passes through a point below this. If you make a mistake or if you take ISO 30 for this also, it passes to this point. But ISO 30 has to be taken to locate the center of the circle. Now visibility. To darken the circle obviously because sphere is completely visible. We have seen it in the animation also. Sphere is completely visible. So darken this spherical surface. Solid is only circle. And bottom solid, this edge is visible till here. This edge is visible till here. And front, this edge is completely visible. This edge is also completely visible. And these three vertical edges are visible. And bottom front edges, these are also visible. Completes the solution. This is a problem of hexagonal prism with a hole. There is no other solid. There is only one solid, and both hexagon and square hole has the same axis. They coincide. Axis to axis coincidence is there. So we have to draw the isometric. So I'll just try to draw the 3D sketch of this hexagonal prism, how it looks like. You can just imagine that, and later we can start the problem. So in 3D, this is actually a hexagonal prism. but it has a square hole at the center, exactly at the center, because axis to axis coincidence should be there. So there's a square hole. I'll draw it like this. And there's one more condition, that one of the squares of the square hole, there are 4 square faces for this solid. In the hexagon, there are 6 rectangular faces, and there are 4 rectangular faces for the square hole. If I construct this square such that this edge becomes parallel to this edge, then it is rectangular face here will be parallel to this. And one more thing is, when you draw this face, this is actually a cutout. There is no material inside this. It looks like this. It's a square hole. So there will be one edge here which will be visible. Okay, this much is visible. So we have to start with this bottom face, which is hexagon shape. We tried triangle. Triangle also we enclosed it inside a rectangular box. Pentagon also we enclosed inside a rectangular box. Similarly, now it is hexagon. We have to enclose it inside a box, for which we need to draw the hexagon in true shape. Taken 30 here. This is 30. This is also 30. 60 degree here, and this is again another 30 at 60 degree here, to complete the hexagon like this. This is the true shape of the hexagon. Drawn a horizontal line here and vertical line here passing through this corner, a vertical line here passing through this corner, and horizontal line passing through this edge. So by drawing these lines, I am enclosing the hexagon inside the rectangular box. And I have already constructed the isometric scale, where 30 degree line represents ISO length and 45 degree line represents true length. And I have also drawn the horizontal line here. At arbitrary point, I have taken 30 degrees this side and 30 degrees this side, and these two represent 2 of the isometric axis. Another one will be vertical, which I have not drawn now. So in order to start the hexagonal face, first I have to draw the isometric for this box, rectangular box. I'll take this length first. I'll take it to isometric scale. It is here. Vertical line, it meets here. So this is isometric length for one of the edge. This is isometric length. I'm drawing it here. And for the other edge, I have to take this length onto isometric scale, which will be here, which will be smaller than the other edge. I have to draw a vertical line there. Okay, this much is isometric length of that. It comes here. Draw a line here. We'll draw it here. This is a parallel line, and a parallel line here. I'm drawing it approximate, but when you are doing it on the sheet, you have to take exact parallel line. I'm drawing it approximately a parallel line here. So this is what? This is isometric projection of this rectangular box. Now I have to fit all these points in it. So I have to take this length, this distance, onto isometric scale. It will be approximately 23 or 32 mm. Isometric length for that. This is the corresponding isometric length. I'll mark it here. This distance, whatever you measure, that will be equal to this, which will be equal to this, which will be equal to this. So these 4 lengths are equal. I can draw it from this end also to get the point here. Similarly, I can draw it here to get one point here, and I can draw a point here also. This point is this point, and this point has come here, and this point has come here. Meaning is these 2 points. And I know that this point is half of this, right? It will be somewhere here and somewhere here. So I'll measure this distance first, measure this, go to isometric scale, get the isometric length for that, and mark it here. From this edge, you mark a point here. So I got this point here. In order to mark this point, this will be equal to this. This will be equal to this. So I can cut from here. So I'll use the same arc here to get the point. So I'll join points. I'm joining this point to this to this, this point to this point to this. Is actually representing the bottom face of the hexagonal prism. I'll draw vertical lines from all the points. One from this point, second from this point, third from this, fourth from this, fifth from this, sixth from this point. So there are 6 vertical edges. 6, 7. 70 is here. I have to draw a vertical line there. This is ISO 70. And mark it on all these lines. I'm marking one point here, second point here, third point here, fourth point here, fifth, sixth. So I got corners of the top face of the hexagonal prism. You can join them to get the top face. Now I have to draw a square hole here at the center. In order to fit the square hole there, first I have to find out where is the center of this face. So to find the center of the face, I have to draw 2 diagonals. One of the diagonal I'm drawing like this, and any other diagonal. I say these 2 points I'll join. So I got the center of the face. This is the center of the face. At this center, I should draw a square hole such that one of the edge is parallel to this. Let us do the axis construction first at the center. Get the axis here first. So I'm drawing one of the axis here. This is the first axis. The second axis. This square hole is of size 20 by 20. So this is the center. So 20 should be distributed on either side. To mark ISO 10 here, ISO 10 here, ISO 10 on this axis, and ISO 10 on the other portion of the axis. Where is 10? 10 is here. ISO 10 will be obtained. This is ISO 10. I'll mark ISO 10 here, ISO 10 here, ISO 10 here, and ISO 10 here. So I got 4 points. So now total distance is ISO 20. From here to here, here to here, it is ISO 20. Now I told you, don't join these points directly. The usual mistake that you do is you join these 4 points directly. That will not become a square hole. You have to draw parallel lines passing through these 4 points parallel to this axis. From this point, I'm drawing a line, and from the other line also I'll draw a parallel line like this, and parallel to the other axis. Parallel should be drawn through this point. A line here and a line here. Now I got the point. See here, this is one of the corner of the square hole. This is the second corner, this is the third corner, and this is the fourth corner. So I'll darken that now because I know that it's visible hole. Hole is visible from top. I'm darkening these 4 edges of the square hole. See, this is the square hole actually. I told you there is one visible edge here, from here to here. So I have to darken that also. So it will be exactly coincident with this. This is a visible edge. I'll darken this. This is visible. The hexagonal face is completely visible with a square hole at the center. So this all 6 lines should be darkened. And vertical edges in the front, this one, this one, this one, and this one. These are visible. And in the front bottom edges or base edges, this one, this one, this one is visible. So this, it is also similar to this hexagonal face. What I draw first, that is on XY plane, and that on that face the solid is resting now. But in the next problem, he says it has to rest on a rectangular face. What is a rectangular face for the hexagonal prism? All these vertical faces are rectangular. There are 6 such faces. So you have to tilt this solid like this. So hexagonal face will come here on the YX plane, or you can also bring it on YZ plane also. This hexagonal face we have to draw on a different plane, vertical plane we have to construct. If I construct the hexagonal face on ZX plane, height will be along y-axis. I've drawn this 20 mm side hexagon here. This is one of the side, and I have to construct this hexagon on a vertical plane, for which I need to draw the z-axis also. This is z-axis I am drawing, and on x-z plane I have to construct the hexagon now, for which I need to transfer the ISO of this here, ISO of this on z-axis, then draw parallel lines to construct this rectangle. Then you have to fit all the points inside that. This much length on ISO scale I'll take, and I'll draw a vertical line there. This much distance ISO on this axis like this. So I got the point. Similarly, on this side also I need to measure like this. Go to isometric scale. That will not be same as previous length. You have to be careful. Don't take the same length. So I have to take ISO length for this also. This much distance on z axis like this. Then I have to draw parallel lines. I have to keep the edge like this. Get the parallel line here. So I have to draw parallel line to z axis here. I know that this point is at this much distance from this corner, so I have to take the isometric length of that. Isometric length is taken here. Vertical line here. We get the isometric length here, and you know that these distances are equal. So I'll take one point from this end, and one point from this end, and one point from this end. And to mark these 2 points, I have to take the isometric length of this portion, this much distance, length on this line, that axis, and same distance here also. So I got 2 more points of the hexagon. So I can complete this hexagon by joining these lines points. So hexagon is completed. The height of this is 60 mm. So go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60. 60 is here. So draw a vertical line there and get the ISO length for 60. So one of the line is here, and one through this point, one through this point, fourth one through this point, fifth one from this point, and sixth one from this point. So 60 is so much, and all these edges I should draw that ISO 60. So I got 6 points here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I join, that becomes the other face of the prism. Okay, other face also I have drawn. Now hexagonal prism is kept on a rectangular face. Which is the rectangular face on which it is resting now? It is this rectangular face. On this rectangular face it is resting now. But it also has a square hole throughout. It is a through hole like this. So since this face is near the observer, here only I can see the cutout. So I should draw a square here on this face now. This is the face which is behind. I cannot see it. So I want to construct the square hole here. I need to first find out the center of this face. So I'll draw 2 diagonals to get the center. Any 2 diagonals you can draw. I'm drawing these 2 diagonals. So I got the center now. This is the center of the face. So here I should draw 2 axes. 2 axes means one axis should be parallel to this, one axis should be parallel to z axis. I'll draw this axis first. Here. So I got two axes. Now what is the size of the square hole? It is mm size. Either side 5 mm will come. So 5 mm you mark here and get the isometric length and draw the isometric 5 on all the sides of this axis. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I told you don't directly join them. You have to draw parallel to the axis again. So I through this point first, drawn a line, and through other point, drawing a line here, through this point first, and through second point. Now you got the square hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 points. I'll darken it so that you can see it properly. So this is that cutout that you can see, square hole. And there is one more line which has to be visible. I told you when there is an opening, there is an inside edge which can be seen. So that comes from this point. It will be here like this. That is a visible edge. And other visible edges should be drawn like this. This is the hexagonal face. And this edge should be visible. This should be visible. This is visible. This is also visible. And from bottom face, only these 3 edges are visible. This is how it looks like. Here you can see a pentagonal prism placed in front of VP, and you can see there is one rectangular face parallel to VP. These are the two adjacent rectangular faces which are equally inclined to VP, and they are near the observer. Observer will be in the front here. Now this yellow color object is a plane now. It is called section plane, which is perpendicular to VP. So in the front view, it looks like a line. You can see here, this is a front view. It looks like a line in the front view, but it is actually a plane which cuts the solid like this. And the section plane is inclined at 45 degree to HP, and it passes through a point on the axis 50 mm from the base. Now if this portion is removed and this portion is retained, how does this solid look like? That we'll see now. This is how it is seen after showing the retained portion. This is how it is seen in the isometric projection. This is what we need to construct now. I have done some construction here. This is the orthographic view of the solid. So this is my XY line. And here I have constructed pentagon like this. This is a pentagonal prism top view. And in the front view, it is this. This is how it is. And you can see this is one of the rectangular face. This is another rectangular face which are near the observer. They are equally inclined to vertical plane. If you draw it like this, it is not correct because two faces which are equally inclined to VP, they are near VP. This is not the correct position. And if you construct in any other orientation, two faces will not be equal. See, if you construct it like this, the way you start for lamina problems, this is also not proper because none of the subsequent rectangular faces are equally inclined to VP. So this is also not possible. So only this position is possible, for which you have to construct the front view, and this length is 70 mm total length, and your section plane perpendicular to VP. In the front view, it looks like a line. So this is a section plane. Where it is drawn at height of 50 mm from the base. So this is the section plane that cuts the solid. Angle is 45 degree. And this height is 50 mm. And once this section plane cuts the solid, the remaining portion of the solid will be only this. Only this much. With this edge visible here, from here to here, it is dark line. Only this much is retained and this portion is removed. And we have to draw the isometric projection for this retained portion. And when we start the isometric, we know that we start from the base. Base is a pentagon. So we can construct this pentagon isometric view and give the height. We get the top face also here. Then we'll try to transfer these isometric distances wherever these edges are getting cut. Those points we'll try to transfer it. That is how we need to do now. Now let us identify what are the edges that are getting cut. So there is an edge here, vertical edge at this point. So this is from here to here, and it is cut at this point. So I'll mark this as section point 1 dash. This vertical edge is cut by the section plane here. I'm calling it as 1 dash. And the next edge is here, which is here. So this edge is cut at this point. I'll call it as 2 dash. And this edge is not cut. You can see it is complete. It is completely visible. So it is not cut. So there is no section point on this edge. But there is an edge here. There is an edge here, which is cut here at this point, which can be called as 3 dash. This edge, and this edge is also cut. That is cut here. I'm calling it as 4 dash. And not only this, see, the section plane passes through the top face. Section plane passes through the top face. If I draw a vertical line from this point, this like this, see, it cuts the edges here and here. So that means on the top face also there are 2 points where section plane cuts. Both are here in the front view, but in the top view you can see them here. So it is cut like this. On the top face you get these 2 points. So I'll start marking those points. I'll call them as 5 dash of 6 dash, where 5 is here and 6 is here. Okay. So those so many points are there now. 1 is on this edge, 2 is on this edge, 3 is on this edge, and 4 is on this edge. And 5 and 6 are on the top face. After identifying these points, we'll start drawing the isometric view of the pentagon. So pentagon, what we have to do? We have to enclose it inside a rectangular box first. So draw this horizontal line, draw this vertical line, draw this vertical line, draw this horizontal line. So I enclosed this pentagon inside a box. Full length of this side. I have to take it to isometric scale and draw a vertical line from here, and this is isometric length, and I'll mark it on this side of the axis. Here, I got it. I'll take this length, it will be this much, and I've already drawn the vertical line there. We take this much length, I'll draw it on this side of the axis. Line through this point. So I know that this point is the midpoint of this distance. I'll take this much distance onto isometric scale. And I can transfer it here. This point I got it. I'll take this distance and go to isometric scale and get the isometric length of that and mark it here. On here, see, this length is equal to this, so I can mark the other point also here. I got 2 points. Then 2 more points should be drawn here. So I need to measure this distance isometric. This much distance I'll measure. Go to isometric scale. Get the isometric length corresponding to that. This much. So draw it from this corner once and from this corner once. And I can give the height for this. Height is 70 mm. So 70 is here. This distance, and draw vertical line from all the corners. And vertical line from this corner. Vertical line from this corner. Vertical line from this corner. In the last corner. So 70 length on all these edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top. This is not the isometric projection what we wanted. Solid is cut here, and only for the truncated portion we need to draw the isometric. So in order to do that, we have to transfer these distances of these section points now. A of A1, B of B1, C of C1, D of D1, and E of E1. See, A1 is here. This is A1. This is A. And B1 is here. This is B1. And this is B. Similarly, C1, C, D1, D, and E1, E. So these are the edges. Now, point 1 dash is on A1, that is on this edge. So I have to transfer this much distance here, but now this is true length. I have to get the isometric length for that and transfer it here. So get this length, 1 dash distance from the bottom face, and get the isometric distance for that. Make it like this on A1, A1A. So you got the point 1 dash is point 1. Point 2 is on B dash. B dash is here. So go to isometric scale. This is the length, and transfer it here. So I got the point number 2. Point number 2, I got it. And point number 3 is here, which is on the edge D1. Isometric of that will be this much. I should measure it on D1. So it's here. It's very close to point D. This is point number 3. And point number 4 is on the edge E1. So we'll measure that edge length. This is the true length of the edge. Get the ISO length for that. So ISO length for that. To mark it on E dash, E1. So I got the point here. So this is point number 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are marked. Then top face points 5 and 6. They are seen here, right? They will not be on any of these vertical edges. They will be on the top face. So, and one more thing you observe, 5, point number 5 is on the edge BC. Where is BC? It is here. So this point will be on this edge, right? And point number 6 will be on DC. DC is here. So one point will come here, another point will come here. So how do we mark those points? You cannot straight away take this much distance because it is not along the isometric axis. It is not isometric length. It is on isometric length. But if you draw a horizontal line here, this length, that is parallel to x-axis or whatever. So this length, if you transfer, you can trace this point. Similarly, point 6 also, you have to draw a horizontal line and vertical line. This much, these distances, you should be able to transfer it on the isometric scale. For which you need again this kind of box here also. You can draw it easily by taking parallel lines. So I'll complete that box. I'll just extend this edge. I'll extend it like this on either side, and through this also I'll extend it. And I'll draw a parallel line through this. Draw it through this point. Means you should draw parallel to axis through those points. That's all. So I have constructed that box. See, this is that rectangular box. Or you can give height for these corners also. Same ISO 70 height. If you give for these 4 corners, you get same box again. Point number 5 should come here on this. But we know this much length. ISO is here. And this distance should be taken here. So ISO of this you measure this much distance, and from here you draw a line. So I'll take this much length, true length, onto ISO scale. This much distance and from this point, this side, you draw a point, and there you can draw this parallel line. That point, if you draw a parallel line, you draw a parallel line wherever it meets that BC. Wherever it meets the BC, that point is 5. Similarly, point number 6 is on edge DC. Same distance, if I continue the same line, wherever it meets the point DC, there I'll get the point 6. So I'll continue that same line. Yeah, I have continued that same line. So I got point number 6 here. Point number 6 should be on DC, line DC. Now I got all the 6 points. I can close or I can join all of them. I'll join 2 to 5 first. And 5, 6 is already joined. And 6 to 3. And 4 to 3. And 1 to 4. And 2 to 1. So this is the cut surface. This is how it is seen in the isometry. You start marking the visible lines. See, top face is not cut fully. There is a small portion here which is not cut fully. That is here. This edge, and a portion of the edge here. So this is the remaining portion of the top face. And this is a cut surface. All 6 points you can darken. They should be completely visible. This is the cut face, and remaining lines, this should be visible. It's a vertical line here, and this is another vertical line which is visible from here. There's a vertical line in the front, and there's a line here which forms the boundary, and this bottom front line should be visible. This should be visible. This should be visible. This completes the problem.